Hello everyone, my name is Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. Today I'm going to be going over my April pile of possibilities. Stay tuned. Okay everyone, so I've got 16 books here, physical and ebooks, and it's pretty unlikely that I'm not going to get through every single one of them, but I really want to get through most of them. This last month has been kind of tough. I only read 8 books, but yeah, these are my possibilities, and I'm going to start off with the first 10 or so books, which are going to be priority for me, and then the other ones if I'm kind of in the mood and if I manage to fit them in. So yeah, I'm going to go through them quite quickly because I don't want this video to be too long. So let's get going. Okay, first off, I'm still busy reading the Cipher by Kathy Koji. And I started reading this just after the Week of Weird, for the Week of Weird. That's sort of extending now into April, but that's fine. And the Week of Weird is created by Crystal at Fiber Artsy and Jason from Jason's Weird Reads. Awesome event, and I'll link them down in the spaces below. Okay, second of all, we're looking at our group read, All About Holly, and we've just finished reading, last month we finished reading The Outsider, and we're going to be having a discussion tonight, a live discussion, and I'm actually going to link all the people involved in the All About Holly readathon, group read, and yeah, it should be fun tonight, and that's going to be on Greg's channel at Another Bibliophile Reads, so be sure to tune in for that. It should be very interesting because I believe I've got a slightly different view to everyone else on this book. Kind of going to be fun. And for this particular month we're going to be reading If It Bleeds, because all of these books have Holly in them, and then we're going to finish off the next month with Holly, the novel by Stephen King. Okay everyone, next up we've got first of 2 buddy reads, and this buddy read is going to be with my friend Alex from Alex Unabridged, and it's going to be Dolly by Susan Hill. Now this looks like a kind of creepy haunted house, or like a haunted doll ghost story, and yeah, I don't know much about it. It's got a very cool cover, and I know this particular author is famous for, I think it's A Woman in Black, which I'd also love to read one day. But yeah, we're going to enjoy buddy reading this together, and it's a very short, simple read, so I'll get back to you on that one. Okay, for my next buddy read, I don't actually have a book to show you, but I believe I'm reading a Ramsey Campbell book with Michael Wertenberg, and we've still got to decide on one, so I'll let you know that in the next video, once we've made a decision, and that's with Ramsey Campbell, that guy up there. Okay, the next one, number 5, is an interesting one, and it's called Obsidian Murders by Nicole Boone, who just happens to be a booktuber that has got a great channel, and she's an author, and yeah, she's going to be on my channel. It's Nicole's Bookish Nook, I think, yeah, and we're going to be doing a live together this month, so I've decided I'm going to read the novel first, and it'll be something additional to talk about during the live. And I believe it's an urban fantasy, which I kind of enjoy. Read quite a few fantasies, and it's kind of also a little bit of a murder mystery, and you're throwing in, I think, a 500-year-old vampire in there, detective, and some other strange creatures. So yeah, I don't know much more about it, but I look forward to reading this book and then chatting to the author this month. Okay, next up we have Wormwood by Chad Lutzke and Tim Mayer. The first time I've read Chad Lutzke with another author, but I'm going to read Chad Lutzke every single month. He's fast becoming one of my favourite authors of all time, and he seems to write mostly YA, but not really. Kind of YA, splatterpunk, coming of age stories. He's just a brilliant author. And in this particular book it is about a boy who's constantly on the move. His parents are kind of like nomads. They go from one town to another, And then what happens with a child like that? Normally they don't settle down and make friends. And this boy's got no friends and he's never been kissed. And he meets an older girl that he becomes infatuated with. And apparently in the story, the girl leads him astray and down a path of self-destruction. And yeah, everything that I've read by this author is magical, so I'm really looking forward to that. And that is Wormwood. Okay, for the 7th book, I promised myself I wasn't going to read an extreme horror this month, because last month was a disaster with No One Rides for Free, which was a pretty sick book. But I'm not going to stop that's not going to stop me reading some more Richard Gaiman. The Woods Are Dark. I heard this is one of these more horrific, gory stories, set in the backwoods, families, maybe torture, and knowing Richard Gaiman is going to be all sorts of sexual stuff happening as well, which turns a lot of people off. I love and hate Richard Gaiman. I've read some books by him that I absolutely love, and some that I didn't care so much for. And someone at the back here actually found it quite funny. One of the critics says Richard Gaiman is like Stephen King without a conscience. I kind of agree with that. So yeah, The Woods Are Dark. Okay, next up we have Ray Bradbury, I Sing the Body Electric. Now, I'm working my way through everything this man has written. He's just a magical, fantastical storyteller. Science fiction, yes, but also the horror spice. And he's read a couple of horror books as well, written a couple of horror books. And yeah, this is a short story collection. I'm going to take my time with it, and it just looks gorgeous and looks very imaginative. And you got to love this cover. It's a beautiful cover. I Sing Body Electric. Okay, the 12th book is a book I've been putting off, an author I should have been reading every month because one of my favourite authors, and that's Robert McCammon, and this is mine. As you know, 2 of McCammon's novels are probably in my top 10 novels of all time, and that is Swan Song and Boy's Life. But I've heard great things about this novel as well, and it's about a mother. This child is all that she has, and then this other psychotic woman, crazy murderous woman with a military background, steals her child, and then there's a pursuit. The mother is determined to get her child back, and there's a pursuit across America. And apparently it's incredibly tense, kind of psychological horror, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's Robert McCammon, mine. Okay, for this next book, it's been on my shelf for quite a while, and there are 2 reasons why I want to read it this month. First reason, and that is The Shining Girls by Lauren Bierks. There are 2 reasons why I want to read this book. First reason is that the serial killer in this book is a time traveler, and basically meets the children when they're young, gives them something, and then when they're older goes back and kills them. It seems to be impossible to catch this killer. The second reason is because it is a well-renowned South African author. I think she's won a lot of awards, and yeah, that's Lauren Bierks, and I've been meaning to read her for quite some time. That is Shining Girls. Okay, the 11th book was on my TBR last month, and that is Saulina by Philip Fracassi. I don't understand why I didn't get to it. Apparently it's quite short, but as I said, I had a tough month in March. So I'm determined to read it this month, also because I want to read The Boys in the Valley by the same author, and I want to do that next month. Now, Saulina is about this basically this fishing charter. They go out into the deep ocean, and things go horribly wrong when these monsters of the deep, these creatures come up, and yeah, it sounds quite menacing. And as I said on the last time I talked about this book, check out that cover. It's freaking awesome. Okay, for the 12th book on my list, we got Neil Gaiman and Nancy Boys. Now, I think this is a sort of offshoot of American Gods, and I can't really remember a lot about American Gods. I read it a long time ago, and by the way, I absolutely love it, Neil Gaiman. I've read it, pretty much everything he's written, well, not everything, but I would like you to tell me in the comments if I should read American Gods first and remind myself of that story before I go into Nancy Boys. I believe it's sort of an offshoot. Yeah, and it's about this god and God's children God is dead, meet the kids. So yeah, it looks really interesting, but I don't know if I should read it, if it's a standalone, if I should read American Gods first. So please let me know in the comments. That is Anansi Boys. Okay, I'm going to go through the last 4 quite quickly. Reason being is because they're lower priority for me. I possibly might get to them. Some of them were on my monthly pile of possibilities last month. And the first being The King in Yellow. Now, I don't know why I keep putting off reading this classic. It's a classic horror. And it's a bunch of short stories connected by this play, The King in Yellow. And apparently whoever sees this play is kind of poisoned and is destroyed in various ways. So yeah, I don't know, there's just something about the concept, something about the title that puts me off. Let me know in the comments, should I read this? Am I doing myself a disservice by not reading The King in Yellow by Robert Chambers? So yeah, let me know. Number 14, another book that was on my TBR for last month, and this has happened so many times with Ed McBain, Till Death. And I don't know if I was all murder mysteried out with The Outsider, maybe 1 or 2 others, and I just didn't feel like picking up any crime, murder, mystery books again. But yeah, I think I might get to this month, nice and easy and short, and it's about a wedding where a groom is being threatened by a potential killer. And the problem is it could be any one of the guests, and the detectives have to find the killer before it's too late. So yeah, that is Till Death, Ed McBain. Okay, my final 2 are fantasy, and it'll be rereads for me, and I can do it at any time this year. And I'm actually asking and calling for people who want to do a reread, or do a read, a buddy read, a group read with these books. Now, this was on my TBR for March of the Mammoth last month, and I didn't get to it, and that is Magician by Raymond Feist. This is one of my favourite books, beloved books of all time, but I'm very keen on actually going through the entire series again. So if anyone out there is interested, let me know. And then also, I've chatted to a few people about this, and that is Dragonlance Legends, and I think it's Dragonlance Chronicles as well. And I've read the entire series, and it'll be kind of fun. Because this is all 3 books in one. The books aren't that long, and it'll be fun to find someone to buddy read or to find a group read to go through Dragonlance, a sort of Dungeons and Dragons sort of thing. So let me know if you're out there and if you're interested. Okay everyone, so there you have it, my April pile of possibilities. So let me know what you think. Which ones should I prioritize? Which ones have you read? What do you think about these books? Just drop me a comment down in the spaces, dark spaces down below, and let me know what you think. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up, a like, and a subscribe. And please take care of yourselves, keep those pages turning, and cheers.